So welcome to this new pre-market watchlist video for Wednesday, October 26th, 2022. I have already checked my various trading screens and I'm going to start going over the most interesting setups immediately. For those watching these videos for the first time, I use a number of predefined specific filters in ChartMill that I run on a daily basis to scan the markets for interesting setups. And these are screens of various kinds that spot both breakout, pullbacks and mean reversion setups. The stocks that I find worthwhile I add to a watch list to then examine in further detail, and that is exactly what I'm about to show you in this video. Before we begin, all the info and setups I share in this video should in no way be considered investment advice. It is only meant to show you how I use the stock screen at ChartMill to find setups that meet my specific requirements and the many options ChartMill offers for analyzing and selecting stocks. So let's start with some stocks that broke out above their 10-day high yesterday and caught my eye. First, I'm going to change the view to two charts so that I get to see both the daily and weekly charts of the stocks side by side. And for the second chart, I change the setting to my predefined weekly view, which causes the ChartMill trend indicator to be plotted on the stock. This is a 30-week average line representing the long-term trend. Green is positive, red is negative, and gray is neutral. Wix is the first stock I want to discuss. This stock rose nearly 10% yesterday on rising volume. The stock has had a crazy decline, and in early 2021 it was still quoted at $360. Yesterday the price closed around $86 and the absolute low is at less than $60. The weekly chart featuring the ChartMill trend indicator reveals that there is indeed a base formation at the moment. The price has been flirting with a ChartMill trend indicator, which represents the long-term trend for several weeks now. Based on the weekly chart, the stock is up for a first conservative position with a long-term view. The daily chart offers opportunities for the more active swing trader if the stock can continue to rise above resistance at 87 with a price target around 110. The second stock concerns Mr. Cooper Group, ticker COOP. The long-term trend for this stock is currently rather neutral, but it has held up very well in the current turbulent times. On a weekly basis, we recognize the formation of a symmetrical triangle pattern. A breakout above that upper trend line puts the high at $52 in sight. The breakout on the daily chart was accompanied by remarkably high volume. First resistance there is at 47. Stop loss below the most recent swing low makes sense, but has the disadvantage of not being good from a risk-reward standpoint with an initial price target at 47. However, the current momentum may be interesting for those trading on the shorter intraday timeframes. The next two stocks are from a screen that uses the Force Index to detect pullbacks. And the first one is Immunogen. The long-term trend is neutral, but it is mainly the daily chart that stands out. The price has risen quite sharply in the short term and is now experiencing some resistance at the level of $6.6. There is a moderate pullback with the formation of a bullish flag wedge chart pattern. And the last candle is an inside day candle, which lies entirely within the body of the previous candle. The buying volume was noticeably higher, and a breakout above the trend line could mark the beginning of a further rise, taking us above the current resistance level. The second stock was specifically chosen because both the daily and weekly chart show the same pattern, a symmetrical triangle, and here it is mainly waiting for a breakout with sufficient volume before a setup can be considered, but certainly one to keep an eye on. The tickers Tost and Frog were specifically retained from a long-term technical view. We discovered them using a specific filter that looks for stocks that are recognized as Weinstein Stage 1 setups. And more information on that can be found in this article. I'll put a link in the description below this video. Such stocks are interesting from an investment approach because the setup is largely based on the weekly chart. They are stocks that move sideways for a while after a significant decline, breaking the 30-week moving average up and down several times. And this is currently the case for both stocks. Through the narrow trend channel in which the stocks move, a clear resistance level is emerging. And as soon as the price can close above it on the daily chart, a first long position can be considered, speculating on the start of a new uptrend. To conclude, we also examine some mean reversion setups, and for this we use a specific screen that relies on the Bollinger Bands indicator. This screen does especially well when markets are highly volatile, as is the case right now. The filter looks for extreme price movements where the price falls sharply and even closes below the lower Bollinger Bands. If the next candle manages to close above the lower Bollinger Bands again, this is considered a bullish reversal signal. The quality of the signal further depends on the shape of the reversal pattern itself. whether or not it forms at an earlier support level, and what remaining distance to the middle and upper Bollinger Bands exactly is. The 3 stocks visible on the screen right now are meeting the Bollinger Bands requirement, yet only one stock is worth looking at further, being the ticker IDU. The stock opened the day before yesterday with a sizable gap down, but you can clearly see from the shape of the candle that buyers took advantage of that to buy the stock during the session. Yesterday's session lured more buyers into the market and brought the close back above the lower Bollinger Bands. A real reversal pattern was the result. The stock is now of particular interest to day traders who can handle a short stop loss based on the intraday charts. The next price target is at the level of the middle Bollinger Bands. A long position with a stop loss below the reversal pattern is only for those who have a long-term position in mind, where at least the upper Bollinger Band should be retained as the first price target. This brings us to the end of this video, and keep in mind that for the stocks covered in this video we only considered the technical properties. For those who want to know more about the company, you can go to its profile page for that. In the chart, this is done quite easily by pressing this particular icon that takes you immediately to the profile page. And there you can consult, among other things, the financial figures, the analyst ratings, as well as a summary fundamental analysis of the company and the latest news. Finally, if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like it and follow our channel for more similar content. Thanks for watching, and until next time.